Let's bake these easy sourdough pretzel rolls. This recipe only takes 24 hours. I will show you the exact steps. You will absolutely love them. So let's get started. So it's day one and we're starting with the dough. This is actually quite straightforward. I just mix all the ingredients. This recipe is one of my favorites, so it actually made it into my recipe book. So it's really good, and I do this every other week. So we're just starting with water, 275 grams. We're just mixing all the ingredients together. We are using softened butter or liquid butter. 50 grams of active levain. If it's a little bit more, it's okay. And then also some malt extract, which makes the dough extra tasty and fluffy, so it's said. I forgot to put the salt on place. It is 1 tablespoon. I'm just gonna eyeball it, about 5 grams. And 475 grams of bread flour. The next part is also super easy. Just knead your dough for 5 to 7 minutes until it comes together. So now the dough should look something like this, and we are just going to cover it and let it rest for 6 to 8 hours depending on the temperature. It's super warm meanwhile, so it shouldn't take too long. And the final part for today would just be to put it in the fridge. So we are going to have these babies done for the morning. So our dough is done with the bulk fermentation. It doubled in size and should look somewhat like this. It will rest in the fridge over the night, so it will still have some time for fermentation. The last final part is just cover it and place it in the fridge. Good morning, it is day 2 and this is the morning of baking. So we got our dough out of the fridge and now we are shaping the buns, for which we are just dividing the dough into 8 pieces and then we are going to shape them. And I want to have equal sized pieces, so I'm going to measure them and weigh the dough. It weighs around 833 grams, so about 100 grams per bun. So we are firstly dividing the dough into 8 pieces and then we're going to measure them. So now we are forming the balls. We are forming the balls to get some tension. And then we are placing the balls onto a floured baking paper and let the balls rise for 2 to 3 hours until they are puffed. Depending on the temperature in your kitchen, it might take a little longer or less time. Well, now comes the easy part. We are just going to let them puff until they are doubled in size, which could take up to 2 to 3 hours, depending on the temperature. And after they are puffed, we will put them in the freezer for 1 hour. This is an important step, but for now, we are going to wait and rest. So the buns cooled off, and in the meantime I preheated the oven to 250 degrees Celsius, and I also boiled some water, because the most important part about pretzel buns is of course the pretzel lye, which we are going to create with boiling water and also baking soda. I use 50 grams per liter, and we have 2 liters here. And the most important part about it is that you first boil the water and then add your baking soda. And now we're adding the buns, and we have to move rather quickly because they only boil for 1 minute. And lastly, we're just going to score them and put some pretzel salt on top. I sprayed some water inside, which should create some steam, which is very important for the buns. And if you are wondering what you are going to do with the lye, you can reuse that for 2 or 3 times. So in case you want to bake some more, you can also do a sourdough pretzel loaf, which I totally recommend. Maybe you can check that out on my Instagram. But now we are baking them for 15 to 20 minutes. Just watch them, and then yeah, we can enjoy them. So they are done, and they turned out really nice again. Look at those. They are super crisp and soft on the inside, and I like them most if I just brush some butter on them, and then they're perfectly fine. So yeah, that is the process of baking these sourdough pretzel rolls. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will also share the recipe, and if you're interested in more sourdough recipes, follow along on my Instagram channel. I share a lot of sourdough recipes, not only loaves but also pastries like croissants, you name it. Consider giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know if you're planning on baking them as well. I can only recommend these. These are so good. This is my favorite recipe if it's not about baking a sourdough loaf. Follow along. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.